But to be here for the first time, what's that like?
I can't even explain. I'll probably start crying. Well, I'm going to start crying now, but when he comes out on stage, I get to see him face to face, live. It's going to be the best day of my life. I love that man and what he can do for our country. Everybody needs to know he is number one. He is number one in our books.
That Trump supporter was overly excited to attend her first MAGA rally and see Donald Trump with her own two eyes. Why don't we take a look at some of the things Donald Trump said at that rally?
But if I'm sitting down and that boat's going down and I'm on top of a battery and the water starts flooding in, I'm getting concerned. But then I look 10 yards to my left and there's a shark over there. So I have a choice of electrocution or shark. You know what I'm going to take? Electrocution. I will take electrocution every single time. Do we agree? I will take electrocution.
I'm Rayy Vana and welcome back to Rebel HQ. That was a very real video of former President Donald Trump discussing at a campaign rally for some reason, if he was on a sinking ship, that he would prefer to die by electrocution, because in this scenario he's sitting on a battery, than to be eaten by a shark. And apparently, based on the clapping, his audience agreed.
So I have a choice of electrocution or shark. You know what I'm going to take? Electrocution. I will take electrocution every single time. Do we agree?
I'm not really sure what the answer to that question has to do with your capability to be the president of the United States, but I guess the people got what they came for, which is essentially Trump doing his own version of stand-up and freestyling on the stage and sharing all of his intimate thoughts and biggest fears, which are perhaps sharks. God, I can't believe this is a real country. And while Trump wasn't on the campaign trail describing in weird details the way in which he would prefer to die in a sinking ship, he was defending himself on none other than Fox News about one of his many trials.
This is a continuation of the single greatest witch hunt of all time. We have a rogue judge who rules that properties are worth a tiny fraction, 1/100th, a tiny fraction of what they actually are. We have a racist attorney general who's a horror show, who ran on the basis that she was going to get Trump before she even knew anything about me. She used this to run for governor. She failed in her attempt to run for governor. She had virtually no polling. She came back and she said, well, now I'll go back to get Trump again. And this is what we have. It's a scam. It's a sham.
Now, if there's a reason Donald Trump seemed particularly defensive about this trial, despite having been indicted 91 times, it's because this trial attacks his credentials as a businessman, as it is a trial for fraud in the state of New York. And you can bet that the same Trump supporters who were so excited standing outside of his rally to see him talk about shark attacks are the exact people funding his attorneys and the legal fees of this lawsuit. And they're all seemingly happy to do it, to continue to support their disgraced game show host, God King Emperor Donald Trump. But I will say this for the record. He is right about one thing. You gotta go electrocution over shark attack.